I'm here to have a quick lecture with you about creating effective digital marketing strategy. This lecture, this presentation, which I have with me, is a little bit a play with a subject. So I want you to observe the presentation, and I hope that you find what the play from myself, from my side, was with you with this presentation. So its form, there is a little hint from me, okay? So the form is based on a subject which I'm talking about. So look at this, and I will ask you at the end the question: did you find out why the presentation is like this? It looks like this. It has this this kind of writing in it, the information in it. The form of the presentation is based on the subject. So this is a hint from me. So let's start. To create a digital marketing strategy, you need just 5 steps. 5 easy steps to create digital marketing strategy. Everybody thinks that creating digital marketing strategy is very hard. It's very important, of course, to create your digital marketing strategy, to perform your digital marketing, to make actions over the web in the digital sphere, but to create your own, for your institution, for your firm, for your organization, you just have to keep these 5 simple steps. First step, defining goals. To create effective, efficient also marketing strategy, you're doing this, the goal, the main goal of this, basically is to increase sales, increase profits, or in cultural institution, increase brand and consumer loyalty. These fields I find most important for cultural institutions. Setting goals will help you to increase the effectiveness of marketing efforts, of your marketing efforts. But first of all, you must understand what is the most important for your organization. So if you are defining goals, you must find something that is more important for your organization. It could be profits, sales, or customer brand loyalty, and so on. To define goals properly, it's worth to adopt the SMART approach. It was said yesterday about SMART approach, so I just say it quickly. Your goals should be specific, measurable, auditable, relevant, and timely. So they must be defined as a specific goal. You must think as it like, I want to do this and this, not, oh, maybe I would do, I don't know, I will think about it later, but I want to increase sales. Yeah, measurable. It progress should and can be tracked by numbers. Basically by numbers. Okay, there's also a different type of measurable your goals, but the easiest way to start it is measure it in numbers, in values, and so on. Editable goals should be realistic and achievable. So if your goals are unrealistic, you want to, for example, you have 100 clients last year, and this year you're thinking about 10,000 clients. It's unrealistic in most of occasions. So be real. Relevant. Your goals must be connected with your organization business goals. Every organization, every institution has its own business goals. And your marketing strategy must be connected with it. And timely, the goals should be achieved in a specific kind of time. The time depends on the type of strategy you are realizing. It can be short-time strategy or long-time strategy. Long-time strategy basically covers one season. In most of organizations is 1 year or half of a year, but you can also create a marketing strategy for a shorter period of time. Second step, market analysis. So if you want to create your own digital marketing strategy, you should know something about the market you are involved in. In my experience, the cheapest way for organizations that don't have money, the market analysis could be performed by surveys. Do you know any survey tools you are using in your organization? Survey tools like Google Forms, for example, and so on. Yeah. So the surveys are the best way to analyze your market. You can perform it cost-free using email marketing or your social media channels. Of course, you should also analyze your competition. So once again, for your organization, for cultural organization, it could be made cost-free just by observation. If you know your market, if you know your field of work, your field of business, you will also know something about your competition. So you can, I don't know, for example, go to your competition and just pretend to be a client. Look at their marketing materials, look at their clients. You can perform phone calls to your competition with questions. All institutional organization has a phone number. You can call there and say, hey, I'm interested in some event. Can you tell me about this? And you know what kind of activities they perform in your competition by this. When you have data, the good way for you is to perform market segmentation. So in this way you can split your audience group in smaller groups. And these groups should be defined by, first, some kind of demographic, if it is possible, and in a second, by the group needs. The great way to perform market analysis and analyze your target audience and be prepared for next steps is to create personas. Have you ever created personas? I know you have, but anybody else? Did you create personas? Yes? Okay, that's great. It's a great tool. Do it. So, by all this market analysis, what you want to achieve is to better know your potential client, your target audience, and with this knowledge, you can choose marketing content, marketing and communication channels, just to better adjust your strategy to needs of your client. It's very important. Third step, planning the details of strategy. When you're starting planning details of your marketing strategy, digital marketing strategy, it's very important to answer few questions. First of all, for me, for example, I want to ask myself, what marketing channels I want to choose, and how these marketing channels will suit my target audience group. If they don't, I skip it. If they do this, I will think about how the channel will be suitable for how many groups it will be suitable. For example, for one group, for two groups, for three groups, what need of choosing this channel, communication channel, is performed by a target audience group. Next, I think you should answer yourself a question: what content is worth publishing in these channels? So the good content should always be tailored to the needs of your customers. Oh, sorry. The lady scared me a little bit because she was so happy with this Instagram photo she took. Next question: what elements of your image are crucial? And by the image, I don't think only about the visual aspect of your organization. By the image, I think in a holistic approach. So what elements of your organization, of your institution image, best reflects your organization in the eyes of your customer? And choose these elements and tailor them to your target audience group. And last question, maybe the most important question for me as a marketer: what tools will I need? Which tools would be necessary to achieve the goals I put myself in a first step? So I choose tools that allow me to conduct the effective, I don't like this word, but advertising campaigns. And by the tools, I mean technological tools, but also tools used in communication, public relations. So this softer kind of a tools, not the hardcore technological tools. First step, ways to implement your strategy. So basically, when you want to implement your strategy, you should always be prepared with a schedule and assume budget. And you are realizing you are performing your marketing in a time with a specific amount of money. So sometimes you have got no money, so you skip the money part. But it always should be performed by schedule. Of course, you can be elastic in it. You don't have to be like, I have a schedule, I must do this in this day, and this day, and this day, and this week, and so on and so on. You can be elastic, but if you have this all written down in a calendar, it is easier to you to perform steps of your strategy. Next step in implementing your strategy is creative, effective content. So you create your content, first of all, by the schedule. So the content should be ready before its publish time. It's crucial. Sometimes I have this negative kind of experience with my co-workers that we have this date of publication, and they said, we don't have nothing, so can we just skip this, or maybe we'll do this like, something. It's the worst way of performing digital marketing. Do something. So create effective content, and this content should be various in forms and contexts, and it should be also tailored to the customer needs. It should attract their attention, the interest of your customers. Effective content, I found content which has many forms. For example, text, photos, videos, audio recordings, and so on and so on. Next, Maintaining specific image of your organization, and here I'm thinking about visual branding. So all your marketing content should be created by the best way is to have a style book. Here on the photo I have AP style book. Do you know what AP style book is? Associated Press style book. Associated Press is a press agency, and they have this big book which describe how to write press communicates in this agency. And there are specific there's specific way to write this kind of message, and in the style book they have a lot of examples of many different kind of press messages, and these examples are divided in few elements described by numbers, and every element is described. So in the head of a message, you should this type of a message, in this type of a message, in its head, you should write this and this and this. All your digital marketing content should have the specific elements which will help your client, your customer, to recognize your organization, your institution. So, for example, it should be logos, specific colors, specific graphic style, always put in place just to get the recognition by, like the first look, and your client knows that this material comes from you. And last way of implementing strategy is to choose how will you perform monitoring of your campaign effectiveness. So you should regularly analyze the results of your campaign and change your strategy if it's necessary. So if you don't achieve effects you want, you can always, and you can perform this by monitoring your strategy, by the knowledge if the strategy is working, make a little bit of a change just to put it on the track once again. And the 5th step is measuring the strategy effectiveness. So you are measuring your strategy using key performance indicators. Do you know what KPIs are? You know. Yes, I know you know. I know you know. But everybody else, do you know what KPIs are? Here's written. You can just, read this and tell me. So the key performance indicators are using in measurement of your marketing effectiveness. And the most common and the most easy to use by for example, cultural institutions, of course, digital marketing are number of visits on your websites, a number of conversions. Do you know what the conversion is? Yes. Yes, and you measure the measuring conversions. Measurable conversions could be purchases, newsletter assignments, sales, and so on. But there is also a kind of a non-sale conversion, which your organization can define. So, for example, non-sale conversion is a newsletter sign-up. For me, for example, average time spent on a site, and the last 3 are a little bit tricky because they are connected with advertising, not always, but mainly with advertising in internet. So cost per acquisition, CPA, click-through rate, CTR, and return of investment, ROI. So this last three, I will explain a little. So cost per acquisition is how much money the acquisition of a customer costs me. So how much money I must spend to acquire a customer. In advertising tools, the cost is can be shown by one customer or by 100 customers or 1,000 customers. So it depends on the tool you're using. Click-through rate is how many people clicked the message I performed to them, how many people clicked on a link in my social media post, for example. It's a CTR. And return of investment is how much money I gain by the money I spend. So I spend on marketing, for example, $100 and I gain $200. So this is my ROI. And to measure that KPIs, you can use various tools. For example, the most popular tool to analyze the activity on your web page is Google Analytics. I think that everybody here knows a little bit about this tool, so you know. Back in the day, we have something that was called Facebook Analytics. I use the term here, but nowadays there is no Facebook analytic tool. It's called Facebook Statistics. It's a statistic tool, not analytic tool, like it was earlier, a little bit different. And you can also monitor your effectiveness by using, for example, emailing programs with an analytic module. For example, Freshmail or Salesmanago. Have you ever heard about Salesmanago? Salesmanago is a tool which was at its beginning a tool that was mainly focused on email marketing, but nowadays it's this huge combine of marketing automation tools, marketing automation, basically it's focused on marketing automation, yeah? And it uses also this very interesting analytic tool which performs analysis on clients' data. So marketing, Salesmanago is managed to gather the client data and analyze it with an analytic tool in it. And thanks to this, you can better understand how your marketing strategy works and if there is any change needed or maybe not. And by it, you can always achieve the better results. And thank you for your attention. And now is the question. Did you, yeah?
Better. Thank you. I tried in English to explain what I want to say. We are the only institution in Kielce which has strategy of marketing. We tried to do it by ourselves, but we imagine that we are living in the bubble. We have experience of ours, we have expectation, and so on and so on. So I think in our experience that we have to have someone who is outside the institution. We may pay him or not, and he has to look of our institution by himself or herself. And this experience is very, very important. Why? Because when we try to do our strategy, we are focused on Facebook, on Instagram, on our website, mailing, and so on. But when we do the strategy, the firm who we are cooperate now, they said that you have to look on your Google CV. I don't know how it's in English, and one more site. And we look at, and there was thousands of experienced people who came to our museum and gave us a lot of information about exhibition, about our communication. Why I told this? Because you have to find, I think, you have to find the people who are near the institution of yourself and talk with him or she and listen. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, I have one question for you. Because at the beginning I said that the presentation was created in a specific way to perform something. Did you have an idea what was my purpose with this presentation?
Follow 5 steps.
Was it like a marketing sales pitch? Was it like a marketing sales pitch? Like
Yeah.
5 easy steps?
Yeah.
Like you were selling the marketing itself?
Yeah, yeah. I was using my knowledge about creating marketing strategy to create this presentation, following these steps. So my goal for the presentation was to encourage your institutions to create your own marketing strategy in a way that Kuba said, maybe or maybe by your own. It depends. But this presentation, this whole purpose of this presentation was to encourage you to create marketing strategy, and I use my knowledge of creating marketing strategy. I know my target audience, so it was you. I analyze your needs and create the message, which was the presentation, to achieve a goal. And I hope that I achieved the goal. I encourage you to create your own marketing strategy. Thank you.